Have you ever looked at smart devices and wondered why they're sometimes so expensive? Like a smart fan, for example. A quick search of Google turns up no shortage of them, but they're all over 100 quid. That's like $150 to you Americans. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to get 4 times as much for your money using a clever little device from Sonoff, the Basic Gen5. Hi, I'm James and I've been building out my smart home for years, with products from just about every manufacturer out there, figuring out what works and what doesn't. And so, what is this thing and why is it so good? Well, it's essentially a little relay which lets you cut or connect power to a device. But this new version uses Matter, so it should work out of the box in whichever smart home ecosystem you like. Now this seems like a good time to mention that in order for this to work in the way that we want, you'll need to test that the device that you want to make smart continues working after losing and regaining power. Which is why I'm demonstrating this with a fan, as most of them still use a push switch like this, which stays there even when you pull the plug. The device you're wiring this to should also run directly from mains power and not be using one of those chunky power supplies at the plug. And further disclaimer, do not try this if you don't know what you're doing. Get an electrician to wire it up for you instead. Okay, so first thing first, let's get this unboxed. As always, pretty minimal packaging from Sonoff. They've helpfully included the Matter QR code there on a separate piece of paper, so when you install this somewhere and you don't have the Matter code saved, it should be stuck on the back of your manual there. Must watch full video before install. Let's at least pretend that we're doing that. So that opens up a very helpful video on installing it. Keep that stuck to the box for future reference. Okay, so I think we need a prying tool of some sort to open this up. They have helpfully included a tool for this. There we go. I think that's it. Okay. Looks like you are probably supposed to pry both sides separately, but I got it off in the end. A little bit tricky, but as long as you actually find this prying tool, put it in there and lift that way, not that way, it does allow you to pop one side, and then I think you're supposed to do the same thing on the other side. So now we need to undo these terminals at either end. Luckily they are captive screws, so they won't fall out. And then have a little look inside. Really simple wiring. So you have your live and neutral come in, and then you have your live and neutral out to the device, and then a little reset switch inside as well. The next most important thing to do now is to make 100% sure that this cable going to your device is absolutely not plugged in. So as you can see, this is the plug for the fan here. I'm going to go about halfway down the cable, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to chop this cable, and then I'm going to start wiring it up. So we've got the live and neutral in here. Make sure they're both secure. Now at this stage, before I actually wire the product up, you could plug it in, and it would be probably a good idea to plug it in, double check that you've got your live and your neutral the correct way around. You could plug this in and get the device set up in your ecosystem of choice. But against my own advice, I'm going to steam ahead and I'm going to get it fully wired up before I do that. If I was doing this a bit more properly for a permanent installation, I would probably, since these are stranded cables, crimp ferrules onto the ends of these. This is just for a demo. As long as they're secure, we should be fine. Okay, as long as all the wires are nice and secure, we can go ahead and pop the case back on and plug it in and see how that goes. Again, this whole thing wants to be encased because you shouldn't have single insulated mains wires exposed to anything, and there are of course multiple mounting options for this to slot into here in some way from the side there and allow you to mount it either in a DIN rail or inside a light fixture. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in down here, and then we will come in and scan the Matter QR code. Going to go ahead and put that in my study. Call it my study fan. And tell it to appear as a fan. Doesn't really matter, it's a switch underneath regardless, but nice for using Siri and such to categorize it as a fan, so that if you say turn on the study fan, it will know what you mean. And here we have it. You can see you can turn on pairing mode to add it to another ecosystem. It's the Sonoff Basic Gen5. You can go ahead and turn that on, and the fan will now turn on to whichever setting we left these switches to. And we can turn it back off. And voila! This fan is now smart for under £30 all in, including the fan itself. But that's not all this clever little thing can do. Since it can handle up to a 10 amp resistive load, you could wire it up to anything from a fan, dehumidifier, a lighting circuit, all the way up to a small fan heater, but definitely check with an electrician for something like that. Anyway, going back to lighting circuits, it can even make a light switch smart by using its magic switch mode, by wiring it up to both the lights and the switch to maintain the normal control over your lights with the existing switch, whilst also having smart control. And you can tell Sonoff have really been thinking about all the possibilities for this thing, because they've even supplied me with a couple of 3D printed parts to allow you to either DIN rail mount it in your consumer unit, again another job for an electrician there, or mount it inside a large enough light fixture. Simply put, this thing is the best value smart device I may have ever used. It's a bit of a mini masterpiece. If you'd like to pick one up, the links will, as always, be over on my website, and you can use the code HIWTSI10 to get 10% off. And any purchase that you make through my links will make me a small commission at no cost to you. So thank you again for supporting the channel. If you like this video, make sure that you do like it and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more like this in future. And as always, remember, home is where the smart is.